Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to literally everything I'm packing on a 6-day canoe trip. On this table here is literally everything I am packing for a 6-day canoe trip, specifically the Bowron Lake chain. The Bowron Lakes is a 116-kilometer canoe trip that is pretty famous here in BC, and I'm headed there in a couple days. And I'm literally leaving. I'll be there. I'm starting it in a couple days. I'm literally, I've said that a lot. I'm literally taking this stuff as soon as I talk about it. I'm loading in my van and I'm leaving this morning. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm going to get into it. First things first, I do not have my canoe in my living room with me, but I have a 15-foot Clipper Solitude canoe. So that is the first item that is already packed for this canoe trip. So I guess from there, we'll just start going. We'll talk more about some of the specifics of this trip and my thoughts about canoeing in general, but we'll go through it. This is part one of a canoe cart. We'll skip over the canoe cart for a second. We got a throw bag, a sponge, and a bailing bucket for the canoe. Now we'll go back to canoe cart. These are two more pieces. And then obviously, these are the wheels. There's two of them. I like these big old meaty tires because on the Bowron Lakes, there's about 10 or 12K, I did not look it up, portaging. And the trails are not super rough. They're pretty well maintained, but they also can be kind of rough. So I've seen people with like bike style tires with blown out tires on the trail, and I've also seen people with like hard wheels on like small little hard wheels on a canoe cart or a kayak cart, and it's like that's just not ideal. You're gonna get stuck on rocks, roots. I like the big old wheels. That cart came from Western Canoe and Kayak originally. When I first ever did the Bowron Lakes, we rented them from Becker's Lodge, I believe, or maybe the Bear River Mercantile. But they're like the Western Canoe Kayak, big beefy tires. It's a great canoe cart. So with that being said, still part of the canoe, we got paddles. We got a bent paddle. And we have a straight paddle. You need to have, I'm one person, so you need to have two paddles, just in case you lose one or break one. Breaking paddles does happen. I have one above me. I don't know if you can see it. But it can happen if you were in a group of two. You should have 3 canoe paddles. So that, again, is part of the boat, if you will say. A few more things. Specific to the Bowron Lakes, you're allowed to have 60 pounds in the canoe when you portage. But there's also a few free items that you can also just throw in there that's above the 60-pound weight limit. So ideally, I will have all this stuff around 60 pounds, but if I have to carry it, I am not concerned. I'll just carry it. And I have not weighed any of this stuff. This is just what I'm taking, period. Back to my free items. We have an axe here. This is a Fisker's splitting axe. I believe it's a 36-inch long splitting axe, and it can chop the hell out of some wood. I personally like to carry a big axe because the one with the biggest axe always has firewood. I learned that on the Bowron Lakes actually from an 80-year-old guy named Dieter with the exact same axe. But if you have a big axe, you can always chop wood. A lot of people skimp on the axe trying to be lightweight and carry like a hatchet, but a hatchet's not going to do you good when you got a big old round that you have to cut. And there may or may not, I don't know what the firewood situation's going to be. There might be big rounds, could be small rounds, but if you have a big axe, you'll be good. And that does not count with like my 60-pound limit. So it's like, just carry a bigger axe. It doesn't matter. Axe probably weighs a pound or 2. I have no idea. Maybe 3. It could be more. I literally have no idea. But it's essentially free weight. Like obviously you have to carry it, but you're not really carrying it because you're wheeling in a canoe free. Another free item is a first aid kit. So I have a big first aid kit here. I'm not going to go into the details of my first aid kit. I do believe I have a video on this channel about my first aid kit. But it's like, you know, it's a good first aid kit. And again, it is a free item that doesn't count in your 60-pound portaging in the canoe limit. So I might as well just take my full big first aid kit, and that's exactly what I did. What do we got here? We got a life jacket. This is a Miscellaneous canoeing life jacket, and it's got a whistle. Probably unnecessary to blow that louder. That is obviously mandatory equipment, both the whistle and the life jacket. So that's there. And I have another free, this is my food, by the way. We'll get into this full proper later. I'm gonna get it out of the way for now. We have a tarp. This is a sill tarp. So it's lightweight, and obviously it's a waterproof, it's a tarp. And it's got some rope on either end. That is considered another free item, I believe, is a tarp. So I have that one tarp. Hypothetically, if I'm doing this totally solo, it's just me. If I were to be in a group, a lot of people pack one tarp, and then if it's raining, they put it over their tent, which is great, although your tent is probably waterproof anyways. But also, if you're in a group, where are you going to hang out? If it's raining, you're either going to hang out by yourself, or you're just not going to hang out. You're just going to go in your tent. So if you were in a group, like, kind of make sure you have a group tarp. That's what I would, that's a word of advice. If you were in a group, I would have 2 tarps with me. But specifically for me, I have 1 tarp. I'm getting a little sweaty here because I'm worked up, because I'm excited. And I'm always running behind. I should have filmed this yesterday, but I was like, no, I'll do it in the morning right before I leave. And now it's like, oh, I'm stressed out. I gotta go. I do not have to go, but it just feels that way. I have a camp chair here. This is a nature hike chair. It's my lightest weight, smallest chair. Honestly, I don't really know if I need it, and I probably could pack, if I was really thinking about sitting in it, I'd pack a bigger, more comfortable chair. But that chair is comfortable enough, and it is small, so I'm taking it with me, just in case. I'll go over here. I got a nature hike. This is a one-man, I think it's the Cloud Up 1 nature hike tent. That is brand new purchased. I probably have made a video on it already. If not, I will probably make a video on it later. Please like and subscribe. That's a new tent to me. Before I had the Hubba Hubba NX, but I realized that the seam seal was all flaking off. So that's another thing. Before you go on a big trip like this, double check your gear. Okay, I think I'm gonna go put that in my van, come back and have this a little bit more organized so we can continue going through everything. Okay, I think I'm gonna dip into one of these other bags here. First I'll get this one out of the way so you can see better. And now I got this is a little dry bag backpack. Sorry, my dog is drinking water, but I'm just gonna power through it. This is a dry bag backpack, which may or may not be on my back while I portage. I'm undecided. It depends how much weight above my 60 pounds I'm over. Because if I had to take 5 or so pounds, I'll probably take this. But if I'm 10 or 15 over, I will take this backpack. So those are both going in my van. So I do not know for a fact which I'll be doing. And if we go in here, I have this bag, which is just clothes. This is actually the clothes I'll be wearing to start the canoe trip. I have they're like flexible work pants, like Wrangler. I got like a quick dry t-shirt, a pair of boxers, and I got a long sleeve shirt here, which I also might not be wearing. If it's hot, I'll be wearing a t-shirt, but then this will go into my day dry bag. So that's that. Clothes to wear. What else have I got in here? I got my knockoff Crocs. They are emojis, which so far I've actually liked them. I have a little waterproof map because I believe I'll get a little map of the Bowron Lake chain. I'll have information to have it handy and waterproof. This is technically a fishing rod holder, but it's my camera mount for my Insta360 camera. Again, I do not believe that'll have to count as my weight. I'll just have it on my canoe when we weigh in. I also have a pair of, these are my slipper shoes for around camp. It's just nice to have a pair of shoes that's not my hiking shoes that I'm going to be portaging in. We'll talk more about hiking shoes later. I have those for around camp. I got my emoji knockoff Crocs for in the canoe, and then I have a pair of hikers for the portage. But again, I'll get into that later. So that's everything that's in that bag. And since it's handy, we'll go right into my camera bag here. This one is my camera bag. Obviously, this is a little bit specific to myself, but I got cameras, I got batteries. This is just a random bit of a few random knickknacks that I need for like extra memory cards, extra mounts. I got a little headband mount that I've literally never used. I got like a cell phone tripod, mini tripod. I got a GoPro. I have a GoPro that I'm filming on. This is like a selfie stick. This is a tripod. I got my Insta360 camera in here. My 10-foot selfie stick, which should get some pretty good shots. So again, please like and subscribe. There's more content coming. And I have a GoPro mount that attaches to the bar of my canoe, so I could film out forward or facing myself. 360 camera, second stick, and then this is a very bright headlamp. I pack this just in case I'm like actually having to do something serious through the night. Like if I got stuck out and I had to portage at night, or for some crazy reason I was canoeing at night, I want a really bright light, because my other headlamp, which you'll see in a minute, is way less bright. But that's like my main around camp one. Anyways, I also have a dry bag in here, because this stuff will be in this dry bag, in this bag, when I actually leave. But obviously I'm filming now, so that's the thing for later today. That is camera bag. And we will exchange that for this bag here. This is a dry bag. I think I just kind of put a bunch of random stuff in here. But I'm also, I might have one extra dry bag that I'm not even going to take. But I just like packing with everything in bags, so I have as much as I can go. I don't have to fill these all the way up. I can put a few things in, whatever. Very modular system. I got water bottles. I think I have 3 water bottles. I have this little one. This is the little one that I use to measure, although all my markings are gone. But this is a 500 milliliter bottle, and a lot of my food requires 2 cups of water, whether it be a sidekick or like a freeze-dried meal. They will have, a lot of them need 500 mils of water, 500 ml bottle. Makes sense, even though I could use a bigger bottle and just use the measurements. Also not included in your 60-pound portage limit is water, which makes sense. I got a little crib board. There's also a deck of cards in here. Obviously, I'm traveling solo, so I'll probably not do this. But if I did happen to meet a friend, it would be nice to play cards with. Potentially nice to play cards with. I have a mosquito bug net. So I've done the Bowron Lake several times before, but recently I've done them in August, late August, or early to mid-September. And the first couple times I did it with school, I did the west side of this with my grade 12 outdoor education class, and I also did this with scouts back in the day. And we did it on like early July, like what I'm doing it now. And the bugs were so bad, it totally reset my mind on what was possible with mosquitoes. So with that being said, I pack this bug net to keep them off my face. I hope they're not as bad, but you got to be prepared just in case. What else I got in here? I got a couple charging cables. I got binoculars, battery bank. This is my dishes. We'll go more into that later. I got a stove, and I got 2 tanks of fuel. I'm not sure that this one's 100% full, but it's close. I actually do not think I might use one of those containers, but it's like, again, I'm not that concerned about weight, so pack extra gas, you never know. I got 3 things of rope in here. Like I said, my tarp already has rope on each corner, so I just packed 3 because I had 3 that were handy and all nicely bundled up. I didn't want to deal with more, so I took 3, which only sort of makes sense. And then we got bug spray, This is off. It sprays, and then it's got a lid so it doesn't accidentally spray inside a bag. What do we do? Throw this back in here. Not. That down there. Okay, I'll go into my cooking utensils here. First of all, I have this pouch and long plastic spoon. This is, I saw it on, I think it was actually a TikTok hack, but I would have seen it on Instagram because I don't have TikTok. Follow me on Instagram at StarJake. But I've seen it on TikTok, and I believe it actually helps me rehydrate the freeze-dried meals faster. And at worst, it keeps them warmer longer. So I have that in my dishes. I have a fork, a metal fork. I got this pot. This pot is, it's got a strainer lid, first of all. I got dish soap, a towel / washcloth. This is a silicone pot. This pot and my little stove that you've seen earlier is actually 1 full pound heavier than my ultra light titanium pot and my lightweight stove. This I used to take backpacking, but then I weighed it and I realized it was crazy. But it's a good pot. It's got good volume. I think it's like a liter, 1.2 liters worth of space in there. So you can actually cook a good, proper meal. Because this trip, I do not, well, we'll talk more about food later, but I'm not eating just freeze-dried meals because it's unnecessary. So anyways, that's the pot. I have a little fry pan, spoon, 1 plate. That's my entire dishes. I think I'm going to get rid of this stuff, and then we'll talk about this stuff in a minute. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the good stuff now. Let's go into this one. Okay, first of all, this is I have 2 water filters with me on this trip. This is water filter number 1. This is a Woods bottle with a filter that I like to use this when I'm canoeing. I can just dip in the lake and drink. That's what this bottle's for. At some point, we'll go over the other filter that I have, but that's that. That's just for drinking on the fly. What do I got here? Okay, so this is another dry bag, and in it, I have everything I just want to be like super handy. So I have a towel. This essentially is a foot towel. More on that later. I got my bear spray. I got my big old buck knife. Legit knife. That's that. I got my Tilly hat. Keep the sun and rain off. I have a poncho. I've honestly never canoed in a poncho, but I'll talk more about this later. But I thought this might be an interesting to try if it does rain on me, because I'll tell you more about my system in a second. In here, I have real rain gear. This is a rain jacket and rain pants. So historically, I generally don't wear rain gear when I'm canoeing. If it's warm enough with the rain, I will just go t-shirt and just get wet. But I will have the tarp that you seen earlier, my sill tarp, and I'll drape that over my legs. That's what I usually do if it's not that cold, but it's rainy. So my other thought with this poncho is if it does rain heavily, it's like I can do the tarp thing with my legs and then put this on over myself. And then this rain gear is kind of more in my head. Obviously, if it's raining really bad, it'd be nice to have it on in the canoe. But it's just like now have a dry set of rain gear for when I get back to camp and I just want to set up camp and live. So it sounds dumb to keep your rain dry. But it's like in the canoe, I don't really need this stuff. Hopefully, don't really need this stuff. So it's like nice to have this, then put this on to stay like. Because once you're out of the canoe, you're camping. It's like you want to have you just want to be dry and be normal. But in the canoe, I'm thinking this poncho along with that might be a good solution. So that's why I have both rain gear and poncho. I think I was very long-winded on a simple answer there. And then the final thing left in this bag is my hiking shoes. These are very obnoxiously orange, I'm aware. I got a good deal. I thought it was a good idea, but then it's like, dang, those are bright shoes. So it's kind of a lot. Anyways, I have shoes and I also have socks. These socks are in these shoes. These are my portaging socks and my portaging shoes. I think the trails could be potentially wet and muddy, so these are waterproof. If I didn't think the trails were going to be muddy, I would probably just have like an outdoor shoe, which also could be subject to change once they get up there. But because it's early season, I think there could be mud, waterproof shoes, keep me dry, along with my rain gear. So that's why it's all in here. Like this is handy, so like you canoe, you get out, you got your shoes in this bag along with your foot towel, and then you got all your rain gear, your hat, all ready, and then you just have this one bag. It's like you got to have it handy in the canoe, and then you got your stuff that you need immediately. I have a second bag for other things, but this is like the immediate need stuff. That's this bag. I'll get that out of the way, and then we'll dip into my barrel. Okay, we are on to this barrel. So this barrel is actually a sweet mango chutney barrel. And I'm not sure how many liters this is, but it has these backpack straps, which make this super handy because you can carry it. So again, if I needed to portage, carrying some weight, I could carry this barrel. Although it is not the most comfortable thing on the back. Although neither will that waterproof one be, because it is going to be sweaty. With that being said, I have another one of these barrels. I'm not taking it on this trip, but I have another one of these barrels that is huge. It's like twice the size. That has a more pronounced bulge at the back. So I've actually done the Bowron Lakes where people loaded up that barrel as full as they could make it. And then it's like impossible to carry because it bulges into your back and it's very heavy. It makes it uncomfortable. But this small barrel with these straps is very handy. It is watertight, and I actually put foam on here so I can use it as a seat. Although, since I am a heavy guy, I don't fully trust that I'm not going to go through this barrel lid. So there's that. We'll unscrew this barrel, and we'll pull things out gently. This is a water filter. This is an MSR. It's an MSR, God, I don't forget the name of it. It's an MSR gravity style filter. I like the gravity style filter. I think this bag is 6 liters. You hang it from a tree, it drips down and fills up your bottles. Very simple. There are lighter options, I believe. But for me, I've used this so many times for so many years. I like it. These are fire starters. These are homemade fire starters. They're fire eggs is what I call them. I made them in Scouts. But I got 8 of them. There's no fire ban this year, so we should be able to have fires. So that's those. I also have, this is like a mosquito repellent, and it's called it's the Flex Tail Tiny Repel. So it sits like that, and then it has these little pucks you put in. It's hopefully to eliminate mosquitoes. Potentially, I'm going to find out how well it works, and then I got a lighter in with the fire starters. Makes sense. It's always handy. I have multiple lighters, but that is in with my fire starters, like I said, because it just makes sense to have them there. Okay, get rid of that. This is a sleeping bag. I think it goes to -3. I think according to the forecast, the lowest temp we're calling for is like 4 or 5 degrees overnight. I'll be plenty warm that. I'm a hot guy already. This is a pillow. I've not used this pillow. I got it for Christmas. It's an inflatable pillow. Should do the trick. This is my camp mattress. It's inflatable. And I actually have this bag called the Schnozzle that helps fill it up. It's all in here. Obviously, you need that. I got toilet paper. I have a full roll of toilet paper and then like another half roll. You do not want to run out of toilet paper on a trip. And like if it were to go, whatever, I want to say if shit happens, and you say have the runs or whatever, you make a big mess, you want to have a lot of toilet paper. So like don't skimp out on your toilet paper to save weight and space. That is unnecessary. And in a situation when you run out of toilet paper, you're going to have a bad time. I also have some wet wipes in there to help clean myself off. This is a 6-day trip. That's a long time to go not have a shower. I have a solar panel in here. 30-watt solar panel. Again, this is kind of me specific because I have 3 cameras and, well, I'm not using the drone on this trip, but I have a drone. So like being able to charge stuff is handy. I have a light. This is a flashlight, but it can also work as a lantern. So I have that. It's nice to have around camp so you don't have to use your headlamp all the time. And again, I'm not concerned about overpacking things, like having a redundant light, because weight, not an issue in my mind when you're canoeing. I got a towel. This is like my real towel, not my foot towel, my real beach towel. If I go swimming, what do I got in here? I got a pair of sweatpants. I have long sleeve shirt. I got a bathing suit. I got a long sleeve shirt with a hood, another long sleeve shirt. A pair of socks for chilling, a pair of socks for hiking, in case my portaging socks get totally soaked or something like that. Another pair of sweatpants. I got toque and I got gloves. It is, well, it's July. I'm starting July 4th. It is July 4th. You don't think you're going to need toque and gloves, but you know, it can get cold. So just be prepared. Again, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra stuff just in case. I got a t-shirt, boxers, a pair of shorts. These are just like athletic, like basketball style shorts, or I don't know, general athletic shorts. I got a fleece. This is my fleece I bought from Mount Robson. And I got one more item in here, which is, this is like a long, this is inside out, but it's like a fleece lined long johns type shirt. So like worst case, you can really bundle up between that, the fleece. So I got 4 long sleeves packed. I should be plenty warm. I did not note it on the clothes I'm going to wear. I had a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt. I also have a thin light hoodie that I'm probably going to wear or take with me. But it's already packed in the van for daily use, so it's not included in there. So I just got 2 pairs of sweatpants. I got my athletic pants that I'm going to walk in to start, a pair of shorts, a couple pairs of boxers, 2 gloves. Pretty simple. I have enough stuff. Some people would think that's overpacking. There's probably people that don't think that's overpacking. But I like to have enough stuff. If my sweatpants get all muddy at camp, I can put on a clean pair of sweatpants. You know, and if I wreck both, then I'm out of luck. But it's like, have a little bit of extra stuff just because you can, right? Towel. Okay, I'm going to clear this off, and then we'll go into my food and actually, I will say, in this bag here, I have sunscreen, 2 bottles. I'm going to take that out right now. I do not want to have that in this bag. I have previously melted my sunglasses with spray-on sunscreen in a dry bag. So like this is not even going to be in a dry bag. It's going to be loose in the canoe, and it's just going to bang around in there because then I have it at all times, but I do not want to melt anything. And this can do a number on stuff, and these little twist caps are not that protect when you like jam stuff in your bag or whatever. It can spray. But anyways, I got 2 different types, spray on for like my back, stuff like that. And then this stuff, because it's like, honestly, I think better. And I think, it's cheaper because you get this big bottle for the same price. So I got this for like my face, my arms, whatever stuff that I can do. But then I got the spray on. That's why I have 2 sunscreens that are not going to be in any of these dry bags. I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to get into food. Okay, we got 2 final bags left. We got my food bag, and then we got my daily day use bag, I guess I'll say. First of all, I got a bear bell, and I have I don't even know what this is. It is, I believe that's a fire starter whistle, compass, thermometer, little knick-knack gauge thing on there. And then in here, this bell's kind of annoying. I called my dog over. Now he's probably going to Drink again on camera. Okay, so in this dry bag, we have sunglasses, we got headphones, we got a comb, we got chapstick. When you're canoeing all day, every day, your lips get dry, have chapstick. I have hand sanitizer, always at the ready. I do have a headband, which I got running the half marathon. My hair is kind of unruly, as you can tell. So I may or may not need that to keep myself together. I have GoPro accessory in there. This is my Zoleo. This is satellite messenger system. This is very handy. People that are not with me like me to check in because they are concerned about me. Even if I'm not, they are. So being able to check in and send text messages is super handy. I highly recommend the Zoleo or like a Garmin InReach or anything. It's super handy. Okay. Ooh. This is a strap to hold my glasses on in case I get rowdy. And then this is my flashlight. This is my headlamp. That is less bright. My general round camp headlamp. It's bright enough, but like I really wouldn't want to have to hike through the woods relying on that headlamp. It is not that bright. We got a charging cable, and this is a battery. Again, this is my second battery. This would be unnecessary, except for the fact that I have 3 different cameras and a phone that I would like to charge. It's also like I use my phone to GPS track myself, so you actually know how far you are from things, so you're not guessing as much. It is handy to be able to have devices to aid your experience out there. So I have 2 battery packs and a solar panel. Again, kind of unnecessary. I got a lighter. I got 2 lighters in here, and then we have food. I'm gonna actually wait a minute to talk about food. I'm gonna put this back in my day use, and then I'm gonna dump this whole thing out, reorganize it, and then I'll go through individually everything I pack for food-wise per day in this bag. Okay, so this is my food. Although I did put a bunch of lunch stuff back in here. So as far as lunches are concerned, I combine my lunch and my breakfast together. I don't personally wake up, make breakfast, and then go. I just wake up and go. So I just eat a bunch of snacks basically all day, and then I eat 1 meal at dinner. That's how I backpack. That's how I canoe. I don't want to say that's how I live, but that's what I do when I'm on the road because I like to sleep. And just in the morning, I'm also not super hungry when I wake up in the morning. And then people eat a lot of oatmeal is not my favorite meal. And I'm not going to do like bacon and eggs. So it's like I just wake up, go, eat in the canoe, or like have a snack and then go. So as far as what I take every day from breakfast to the afternoon, this is my breakfast / canoeing food. I have 3 different Lara bars. Each one is 220 calories. I got peanut butter. I have peanut butter and chocolate chip. And then I have apple. So I have 3 Lara bars. I have 2 of these Cliff protein bar builders, which are like 250 calories a piece. I have 1 Rice Krispie Squares. And then I got 2 of these Rice Krispie Puffs or whatever. 2 of those each day, which is all those are 100 calories. Then I have, this is like cheese and crackers. There's 4 crackers and a little bit of fake cheese. And 2 pieces of pepperoni. I picked these up on Amazon. They're Champion, individually wrapped. So I have all that. And then I also in here I have 4 days worth of these Baby Bell cheeses. I have 5 for each of the first 4 days. So I have 20 of those cheeses in there. And then for the other 2 days that I did not want to carry more cheese, I do have these Moon cheese packages. I've never had these. This is new to me, so I'm going to try them. All right, potentially I'm going to try them. So that's everything I have like during the day for snacks. Also in my food bag, we have I got a little bag just like of random pills, Tylenol, Tums, or I guess Advil, Tums. I can't remember. There's something else in there. I have a toothbrush. Oh, I actually have caffeine pills in here, which sounds greasy to say, but I don't drink coffee. I just, if I need a jolt in the morning, which I do, I'll just bite off a chunk of a caffeine pill and hit it with some water. And then that's, again, I don't have breakfast. Just have a little caffeine pill, some water, and you're good to go. You don't really need, in my opinion, you don't really need the coffee, the breakfast in the morning. Like, that's wasted time that you could be canoeing. Toothbrush, a little toothpaste, and dental floss. I'm not always a big flosser, but if you have something stuck in your teeth for, say, 4 days, you're going to drive yourself insane. So always carry dental floss. That's in there. I have, this is BioSteel powder. I don't know if you know what BioSteel is. It's kind of like a Gatorade. It's like an electrolyte powder. I have that, honestly, less for the electrolytes, more as in flavor if I need something other than water, because all I drink is water. I can mix something up and have a nice drink in the afternoon. And I am a pretty sober guy. I do not drink very much alcohol. A lot of people would also take like a Mickey, although legally I don't think you're technically supposed to, according to the rules. They'll take a Mickey and they'll use this kind of stuff or like one of those Mios to mix up a little makeshift drink on the way. Again, not me, but I don't blame anyone for wanting to do that. I have other things that I like to do. And then I got a bag of Crispers and a bag of Bits and Bites. That's just snacks. You never know what you're going to want when you're out there. And I also have a pretty good sized bag of candy. It feels like 800 grams, feels like a big bag of candy. But then when you think about it, if I'm out there 6 days and I eat candy every day, that's not that much candy. I'm just making excuses for being fat. Okay, also in here, I do have breakfast. I have a Vaquero egg scramble and one of these Peak Refuel breakfast skillets. Personally, this Peak Refuel breakfast skillet is my favorite freeze-dried meal that I have eaten. It's unfortunate that it's a breakfast, not a dinner. But I have these just in case, hypothetically, I want breakfast. Or also, if I just want more food. I have a couple extra breakfasts. So, yeah, those are those. Sometimes I like to leave early, go for a couple hours canoeing. Maybe if it was cold or a little rainy, you stop under some cover, and then you whip up a breakfast, warm up, enjoy yourself, and then get back to it. So it's nice to carry a couple breakfasts. And again, I am not concerned about weight. I'm not that concerned about weight, so having a couple extra breakfasts, whether I use them or not a big deal. As far as food is concerned, I have 6 dinners here on this table. And then I also have some powdered milk to go with it. This is avocado oil actually. And I have some seasoning salt in a container. And then I have 1 extra sidekick as an emergency. Yeah, as an emergency. You never know, you're going to get stuck an extra day. You're just going to be hungry. You might come across someone that doesn't have food. So I have 1 extra sidekick just in case. I got that. And now I will get into my meals proper. So on this trip, on previous canoe trips, I have eaten these every night because they're easy, but they are not cost effective. This is a $20 meal. Same with this, which is not that good of a deal, but these obviously serve their place in the backcountry, and I have 2 of them here. So like in my mind, these are the meals that I'm going to carry the longest, or at least just to change things up. So I have 2. I got a Peak Refuel biscuits and sausage and a pasta marinara. These are good, but I did not want to have those every night. I'm also going on a longer trip this summer. Please like and subscribe to see more. Where I'm going to probably eat more of those out of convenience. And I did not want to do this. I did not want to eat all this week when in 3 weeks from now I'm going to eat more. Anyways, I have this pesto linguine Italian pasta. It's just, you add water, you boil it up, and you have a meal. So that's 1 meal too. So that's 3 meals total. And then I've been messing around with the dehydrator. So I've dehydrated peas, corn, carrots, some chicken fried rice sidekick, and some ready crisp bacon. That's another meal. And then on this one, I got creamy bacon carbonara. I got some suspicious looking broccoli from the dehydrator. And again, more ready crisp bacon. This is bits, so I'm going to put that in there, cook it up. And then for my final meal, I have Annie's organic shells. This is macaroni and cheese. I have peppers and onions that were in the dehydrator. And then I have this little can of hot and spicy wieners. Chicken Vienna sausages. I have never eaten these. And I might not actually eat them this time. But that's sort of my thought, is I'm going to cut up some wieners and put in my peppers into my mac and cheese. So then that'll be my other meal. I think technically you're not supposed to carry cans on Bowron Lakes, but I will not litter this can. So I do not feel bad bringing it. And obviously it's one can. So it's not like I'm carrying tons of weight in canned goods. I have one small can of meat. Yeah, so that is everything that I'm packing for a 6-day canoe trip. I tried to talk as fast as I could to keep this video as short as possible, but I feel like it could be long. So that being said, I think maybe I will end this with, hold on, do I want to end this? So actually, I will end this now, unless something comes up and I need to add in later something that I realize that I missed. Like if I go canoeing and I realize I missed something critical, I'll come back and tell you. But other than that, if not, that's it. That's the end of this episode. Everything I packed for a 6-day canoe adventure, specifically the Bowron Lake chain. Peace.